good morning. Hope that your Wednesday is off to a good start. Mine is so far. As you can see, I am on location. I moved into the sanctuary for this morning, and that's sort of because of the topic material. Last week, I talked about Reformation Day, the beginning of the Protestant Reformation that if you had to pick a day, we pinned down as October 31st, 1517. October 31st being the eve of All Saints Day. And then today I'm going to talk about All Saints Day and a little bit more about the that whole time period that in the calendar. So All Saints Day, and then a related holiday called All Souls Day and October 31st. They are all part of a worship window, liturgical window that are called All Hallow Mass, All Hallow Mass, All Hallowed Mass, a Holy Mass. So All Hallow Mass for those 3 days, the 31st through November 2nd. So you have the great feast day, which is All Saints Day, and then the day before that, October 31st, is the eve of All Saints Day, All Hallows Eve, and the 31st was, and I guess maybe in Roman Catholic circles, the day of a vigil before All Saints Day, sort of equivalent maybe to Christmas Eve, or Good Friday before Easter, to give you some comparisons. And then the day after All Saints Day is All Souls Day, and so you have this 3-day time period, this 3-day window, All Hallow Mass. So All Saints Day in the medieval church at the time of Martin Luther was one of the largest of the feast days, festival days in the Catholic Church then. So let's talk about that first, because that's the one that many churches of whatever denomination celebrate now. So All Saints Day, it began really as sort of a catch-all day. The idea is this, that in Roman Catholicism, they beatify people, meaning they deem them officially to be saints, like St. Mark or St. Paul, St. Peter, St. Luke, etc. And there are typically feast days associated with each of those saints. So you can look on a Roman Catholic calendar, and there's a feast day for St. Genevieve, one for St. Penelope, and another for St. Anne, and one for, I think Paul and Peter both share one because they are thought to have been martyred on the same day. One for St. Joseph, and on and on and on, and more saints you can ever think of. And so essentially what had happened is they were running out of calendar days. There were more saints to have feast days for than there were calendar days. And so they created All Saints Day for all of those saints. All Saints Day also, from the outset, was a time to remember those who had been martyred. The very first celebrations of something akin to an All Saints Day really focused on martyrs, remembering those who had been martyred. So that takes us back to like the 3rd or 4th centuries. And so in the British Islands, in the, I think 613, 614, that there was something of a regularized observance of an All Saints Day, and this was done in May. And sometime after that, Pope Gregory III officially declared November the 1st. They moved it to November the 1st to be All Saints Day. And that is the time to remember and honor martyrs who had gone before, who had been killed for their faith, and also the saints that had gone before. And all of the saints collectively, and those that the local church had lost in the last year. So you had this catch-all day for all of the saints, because there are more saints than there are days in the year, and also a chance to remember and reflect on those who had given their lives for the faith. And that is All Saints Day. All Saints Day is a very important day in the Roman Catholic Church. This past Monday was All Saints Day. And an awful lot of Protestant churches will observe All Saints Day as well. And in a Protestant church like this one, they will take that day to light candles in memory of those whom they've lost in the last year. And the next day on the calendar is All Souls Day. So October 31st is All Hallows Eve, the eve of All Saints Day. And then the day after that is All Souls Day. I should mention, by the way, that with All Hallows Eve, which is where we get the term Halloween, that the observance of All Hallows Eve as a vigil, as a religious holiday. I mean, it is a religious holiday. It was observed as such. Some of the elements of that are certainly pagan. So if you any notion that there are witches about on October 31st, or that there are ghosts and spirits about, is that's pagan. In my own opinion, it doesn't hurt to have little munchkins run around getting candy on October 31st. That doesn't hurt anything, as long as we understand that it's harmless. If you start really delving into ghosts and goblins and stuff and witchcraft, when that's a different story. That's off the rails. So All Hallows Eve, the eve of All Saints Day. And then the next day is All Souls Day. Now, All Souls Day is something that very few Protestant churches will celebrate. Our Roman Catholic friends will. All Souls Day is a different matter than All Saints Day. And this is where we have to think Roman Catholic. All Saints Day is for the saints that have died and are in heaven. All Souls Day is your chance to pray for those who have died and are still in purgatory on their way to heaven. In Roman Catholic thought, when you die, there are 3 places you can go. And you can go straight to hell, and in which case there's no hope for you, you're gone. You can go to purgatory, which is where you would go if you are a Christian, but you have unconfessed venal sins, and then you can go straight to heaven if you don't have those unconfessed venal sins. You go straight to heaven. You have this sort of one of 3 doors, and in their thought, and I'm not a Catholic, and I don't buy into the notion of purgatory, but if I'm explaining it right, understanding it right, all of the souls in purgatory will go to heaven eventually. It's just they've got to stay there for a while to be purged. Hence the term purgatory. They've got to stay there for a while to be purged and cleansed of unrighteousness. And so All Souls Day, which is also known as Day of the Dead, is a solemn day in Roman Catholic circles, and I assume I would assume Eastern Orthodox, where they pray for and remember those who have died that would be in purgatory. And so on All Souls Day, which is called the Day of the Dead in some Latin American countries, that's a time where they might have candlelight vigils in cemeteries, decorate cemeteries with candles, special services and liturgies for All Souls Day, prayers offered up for the souls of those thought to be in purgatory, special offerings, charitable offerings in memory of those souls thought to be in purgatory. So that is All Souls Day. Now, very few Protestant churches would observe All Souls Day because, for the most part, we Protestants don't buy into the notion of purgatory. I certainly don't. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe there is a purgatory and I'm just wrong. If so, it's not the first thing I've been wrong about, but when I read the scriptures, I don't see it. So October 31st, All Hallows Eve, the eve of All Saints Day. Then November 1st is All Saints Day, and then November 2nd, which was yesterday, is All Souls Day, Day of the Dead. Now, as a practical matter, most churches, particularly Protestant churches, will commemorate All Saints Day on the first Sunday of November. So whenever November 1st falls, the first Sunday after that, they'll observe All Saints Day. So in our little corner of the kingdom, All Saints Day was November the 1st. And so the first Sunday after that is coming Sunday, November the 7th, and we'll observe All Saints Day here. And at any church which observes All Saints Day, it's an opportunity to light a candle in memory of the saints that we've lost in the last year. In our church, we've identified several people, faithful members that we've lost in the last year, and we will light candles for each of them, and there will be the opportunity for people to come light small tea lights in memory of those saints that have been influential in people's lives. Just come light a tea light, whether it's somebody that has been lost in the last year or 30 years ago or whenever. So All Hallows Eve, the eve of All Saints Day. All Hallows Eve getting shortened to Halloween, and then All Saints Day, which is a major feast day in the medieval church, and I assume is still a very important feast day now in Roman Catholic circles, a day for remembering the martyrs, those who've been martyred for their faith in the ancient church and in the modern church, remembering saints all of the saints, the officially beatified saints of the Catholic Church, as well as how we Protestants look at saints, which are just all believers. All Saints Day, a chance to remember and memorialize those whom we've lost. And then All Souls Day, which is a more particularly Roman Catholic holiday, where you pray for and remember the souls that are thought to be in purgatory on their way to being in heaven with Christ. So I hope that explains it for you, and in an awful lot of our churches this Sunday, in my two, plus in many others, they'll be observing All Saints Day with lighting candles for those whom the church has lost, and it's a communion Sunday as well for most churches, and that is a powerful thing, to light candles in memory of those whom we have lost. at a time on a communion Sunday, and you get this picture of the communion of the saints, which the Creed talks about. So it's a great, great day of worship, and I hope that helps you. Have a great Wednesday.